Hi everybody, I'm Bill Brennan, welcoming you to another edition of Honolulu on the Move, the show that brings you the latest news and information about the Honolulu Rail Transit Project. Today we'd like to begin by giving you an update on the train cars that are being manufactured for Honolulu's rail system, as told to HART's Board of Directors at a recent meeting.
Give you guys, everyone, an update on the really great progress that we've been making this past year. The last time I came and met with the board and talked about rail cars, we were introducing the first rail car that was being assembled in Reggio Calabria, Italy. This is where Ansaldo is manufacturing the car shells that will ship to the United States for final assembly. The famous slide of the empty car shell jig, this is where all the bits and pieces that I presented previously actually start coming together to form the shape of an actual train. And what I'm happy to report is that over the past several months, not only have we completed assembly of one rail car, this was our first rail car that we performed a first article inspection on a couple of months ago, and it is now on its way to the US. But we have rail car 2 that has just completed paint, rail car 3 that's completed welding and waiting to go into paint, and rail car 4 that's in the final assembly jig, ready to be welded and move forward in the production line. So we've started realizing some significant production process and flow. And what we wanted to share with you today, as well, is the fact that this rail car has actually left the building. It's been taken to the port, it's been loaded on a ship, and it's actually on its way to Pittsburgh, California, where we will do the bulk of the work in assembling this rail car and making it into a train. What we do ship from Italy is an aluminum car shell with floors installed, and what we do in final assembly is we install all the wiring, all the interior linings, all the seats and handrails and equipment that make the train run. We built the trucks, which include the propulsion units and the braking capabilities, and make that, all those bits and pieces go together and make our train. And between now and next March, as we reported in our last presentation, our expectation is to complete that final assembly of that first car and have that rail car shipped from Pittsburgh, California to Honolulu for the start of the final phase of the work that we have ahead of us, which is testing and commissioning of the rail cars. So this is car 1, and we're off to a very good start. Very happy to be working with the Ansaldo joint venture team and to be able to report to you today that our production on our car shells is well underway and progressing well. And so that's our status as of right now. I will finish with final assembly of that first car. Should start in the next couple of months, and it will ramp up very fast. So I believe the next time I meet with you, I should be able to show you real progress updates of that assembly process as it takes place at final assembly. So before we leave, we have a submittal. This is in the center of the floor here. The Ansaldo joint venture has an obligation to provide us with what's under this sheet. So I think I'd like Julio and Enrico to give me a hand and just kind of show you what we've received. Which is it's a scale model of the train that we will receive here in Honolulu. What you're seeing is the motor car, the end car that we will refer to on occasion with the end coupler, and the middle car, the passenger car that doesn't have the end operating cab and coupler. Obviously, it's not a 4-car train. That would have been 15 feet long if we were to bring that here. But it does give you a very good representation of what our train is going to look like. There's a significant amount of detail that has gone into this, and I encourage each and every one of you to take a moment to, when you have free time, to see detail. It gives you a very good representation of what our trains will be.
It's perfectly to scale, and the interior as designed. In fact, if you can see down your end, Mr. Chairman, there's even a bicycle hanging there that someone left on board the train, because we will have bike racks on board the middle cars. But the seat configuration, the colors, the design, this is what you'll have an opportunity to see in full scale next spring. So we want to thank Enrico and the whole team for delivering this deliverable under the contract, and I think it's pretty exciting to actually know that right now, first of these is actually on its way to the factory for assembly. So I want to say thank you, and I would also comment, and if Justin wants to, he can expand on this, but while we're early in the production, the most challenging aspects of any production and assembly line is the first couple of rail cars. And I would just tell you that the quality of the work that we've seen thus far, and the dedication by the staff, and the experience of the staff that's been working on this project along the entire supply chain has been exceptional. And so I just want to compliment folks on the work that they've done so far. And we've just got about 78 more cars to go after the ones you just shipped. So keep up the good work.
At that meeting were two newly appointed members of HART's Board of Directors. Terrence Lee and Colleen Hanabusa were sworn in and participated in their first meeting, and they shared their thoughts about becoming members of the HART Board.
I would like to say that the faces on this committee are very familiar to me, so it's almost like coming home to a group of friends. And I do appreciate the fact that we are, both Terry and I, are becoming part of your group, and we are here to serve a specific purpose. And I believe that one of the most important things that we must begin to concentrate on is what the board has been doing, but one that we need to make even clearer to the public, is that we are here to continue to build the public trust and to ensure that the public's questions are properly answered, the best that we all can answer it. Because the success of a project such as this, and we all know this is the largest CIP project in the history of the state, that it does have the support of the public, because without that, no project is going to be successful. So I want to say it's an honor to sit here with all of you, and that I intend to participate in the manner that I've been known to participate.
Good.
And not quite sure whether that will be as welcomed as everyone seems to be today. But notwithstanding, I think that we have to all put the people first, and the public trust that they've entrusted to us as the paramount concern for all of us. So thank you, and it's nice to be among all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Congressman Hanabusa. Member Lee.
Thank you, Chairman. I echo Colleen's sentiments and thoughts and concerns. The reason I agreed to serve on the board was because, as a member of the public, I was very concerned about what I was reading in the papers and hearing on the news about the progress of the project. And you know, I figured when I was asked to serve, I thought hard about it, because I know it's going to be a very difficult job, a very controversial job, likely a thankless job. But I felt a duty to give back to the community, and I thought this was a great opportunity to try to give back to the community. And so I will exercise my authority and responsibility as a board member with that in mind. And I want to stress that I think transparency and disclosure to the public is vitally important for a project of this magnitude, particularly given the impacts it's had on the community. And so, and I know based on my meetings with the other board members that you carry similar beliefs and concerns, and for that I'm as well as the staff. And so I'm looking forward to serving on this board and doing my part in trying to make this project a success for the city and county of Honolulu.
With the new board members in place, the board elected Don Horner as its new chair and Damian Kim as Board Vice Chair.
Because I think as a board, we need to acknowledge it. We've overpromised and underdelivered as we sit here today. And that's not to the new members, but that's to us that have been here. It's not to this chair or anyone else. It's all of us. I take as much responsibility as anybody around the table. Overpromised and underdelivered. We need to correct that because that's not anyone's style in this room. And there's very good reasons why we're in that situation. And I don't think it's an unusual situation to be in, given the situation, but it's a situation of trust. In order to restore that trust, what I've asked to put on the agenda is this notion of what I call a refresh. We need to go through, and I'm the type, and I know Colleen is too, and I know Mr. Yee is too, to get into the numbers, and we need to investigate every number and revalidate it and recalibrate it, and all feel comfortable with it and put a new plan together. I mean, our FFGA plan we keep referring to is 5 years old, basically. And frankly, it's stale. We know a lot more than we did back then. And the council is demanding that, the governor's demanding that, and I can assure you, up until 8 o'clock last night, the mayor is demanding that because he's been toe-to-toe with us, and we've let him down because we've given him information that wasn't always accurate, and he took the hit for it. We should take the hit for it, and I take responsibility for that. So under, if you will, if you elect me, then I think you're going to see a lot more refreshment of the plan and getting into the numbers, because it's really 3 numbers: our revenue number, our cost number, and our delivery timetables. That's what the feds want, and that's what the mayor wants, that's what the council wants, that's what the government wants, and that's what the public deserves. So I would put a lot of focus on refreshing that plan to get to a revenue number that we're not going to see a 10% variance or 15% variance we just saw a few moments ago. That's frightening to the public. The good news is that we gained 8 million before that under the O, so we just lost what we got back. I mean, we need to get a little more better granularity on our revenue side as well as our cost side. 60% of this project is in a rear view mirror. And that's good, but we got 40% of the tough sledding ahead of us in the urban core. That's not so good. So we're gonna need to get a lot of work in that. And the last number is the timetable. We promised this project to be delivered in March 31, 2020. I'm not confident about that date. We probably could, but the question of what cost. And so we need to look at what can we get done by, so I'm going to argue that we have probably 4 phases of delivering to the public. This will happen by this date. We all agree on that date. And my style of 35 years with the First Hawaiian Bank, we don't move the goalposts. When we put a date down, that's the date we deliver on. And that's my expectation from the chief executive officer and all the staff. So whatever that date is, that's the final number. So I'll just leave it at that, Chair, but that's kind of who I am.
It's been great working with everybody here, and I look forward to working with both Colleen and Terrence himself. But, you know, my expertise also is in construction and making sure this thing is built properly, built right, and not has to be torn down because something is deficient and wrong. And, you know, looking at the standards, and the reason why we did the 100% testing is to make sure that it's the safety. The public will be riding this, and, you know, you don't want anything to eventually fall down or wear and tear of it. But it's also getting local people to work, getting our people out there in the public working over here and getting jobs here locally, but getting them safely at home as well too. So as much as the traffic is a concern out there, and I hear it, you know, and I hear it from not just my members, but from the public as well, about talking about the construction going on and the traffic that it happens. But it's there for a reason, and a lot of that reason is because of the safety. They need to take those lanes, they need to take the barriers. The freeway needs to be coned off over a mile away. And trust me, I ride it every day, and I get frustrated in it as well, but I understand why. And it's because the public safety and also for the worker safety itself. So, you know, those are the people foremost in my mind that I care about and worry about as well. But also, a lot of our members, excluding myself, we are all taxpayers as well. And we want to make sure that the dollars are spent properly and done efficiently and done prudently. And now Chair Horner is right, you know. Our motto was on time and under budget. You know, we're not hitting that saying anymore. It's not going to be on time anymore from our original date. And with the possibility of a shortfall, we're not going to be under budget either. but we need to do the best as we can, which I believe we have a great team here in doing so, and keep that that over budget as low as possible. So, and appreciate it.
Don Horner succeeds Ivan Louis Kwan as Hart Board Chairman, and on behalf of all of us on the Hart staff, Hart Executive Director and CEO Dan Grabowskis thanked Louis Kwan for his service as Chairman.
On behalf of the Hart staff, we just want to offer a heartfelt thanks to you, and small token that we're going to offer you here. Go ahead, you get the hug, Cindy. On behalf of the Hart staff, the last 2 years has been a challenge, has been mentioned, and when I think that the history is written on this project and the time that your time as chair is noted, one of the hallmarks is going to be your commitment to the community and your commitment to the staff. It's been a real heartwarming and very encouraging 2 years when you've been out there in the trenches with us in the community, when you've been helping to guide us in terms of how to present what we're doing, and the amazing commitment of time, particularly this past year, that you gave to all of us. So anyway, on behalf of the staff, we just want to thank you for your stewardship over the last 2 years.
I did want to say, and I don't know how to say some things you just can't express, but mahalo nui loa from the bottom of my heart. It's just been an incredible honor, serving the community with such a fabulous team of people. I don't know what else to say, so I thank you for the opportunity to serve.
Finally, today, as you know, construction of Honolulu's rail system is in full swing. The elevated guideway now stretches more than 3 miles from Kapolei and into Waipahu, where more columns are being built along Farrington Highway every day. Column construction has also begun along Kamehameha Highway in Pearl City, and work at the Rail Operations Center is now more than 70% complete. We want you to see for yourself some of the work that's going on right now. That's going to do it for today. We hope you enjoyed our construction update photos, and on behalf of all of us on the project team, mahalo for joining us today. And we'll see you again next time for another edition of Honolulu on the Move.
If you have a question you'd like us to answer on our next Honolulu on the Move show, go ahead and hit us up on Twitter or Facebook, just two of the places where you can stay informed with up-to-date information on the Honolulu Rail Transit Project. And you can view our latest project videos on our YouTube channel. If you'd like more information on the project, or would like a presentation to your group or organization, give us a call at our project hotline at 566-2299 or contact us via our website at honolulutransit.org. You'll be able to keep up with the latest news and information about the project, important meeting dates, times, and locations, and examine the official documents that are guiding the project's planning and construction. Take some time to visit honolulutransit.org.